You know, we tend to think of science as this, giant book of answers, right? A record of everything we've figured out. But what if the real magic of science isn't about what we know? What if it's all about the mystery, the stuff that makes us scratch our heads and go,
So what happens when our best and brightest minds hit a wall? That's what we're diving into. We're going to go on a little trip, from right here on Earth to the absolute edge of the universe, to look at some real, documented puzzles that have scientists totally stumped.
And yeah, we're kicking things off right here at home, with a mystery you could literally hear. Well, maybe. That's part of the puzzle.
Okay, so picture this, the super quiet desert town of Taos, New Mexico. Some of the folks there report hearing this constant, low-frequency hum. They say it sounds kind of like a distant diesel engine that just never turns off. But here's the really weird part. Not everyone can hear it. In fact, one study figured only about 2% of the people there can even pick it up.
So what is going on? Is it real? Well, researchers put super-sensitive microphones in the homes of people who heard it, and they found nothing. Zero. So that leaves us with two big ideas. One, it's some real external sound from a source we just can't detect. You know, maybe secret military tech out in the desert or something. Or is it all in their heads? I mean, not like they're making it up, but our own ears can actually produce these tiny little sounds called spontaneous otoacoustic emissions. It's basically the sound of your own hearing system working. Normally, you'd never notice it, but in a place as dead silent as Taos, maybe some people are just sensitive enough to hear the hum of their own body.
all right, so from a sound that might just be in our own ears, let's zoom out to a force that wraps around our entire planet. Because about 3,000 years ago, right when major civilizations were on the rise, something really strange happened to Earth's magnetic field.
How do we know? Scientists looked at ancient clay bricks from Mesopotamia. See, when that clay was fired, it basically locked in a snapshot of the Earth's magnetic field at that exact moment. And what they found was this huge anomaly. For a little while, the magnetic shield protecting our planet went into overdrive, getting 1.5 times stronger than it is today. The crazy part is, while we can measure this with stunning accuracy, we still don't really know what causes these powerful, temporary surges deep inside the Earth's core.
Okay, let's leave Earth behind for a bit and head out into the solar system, because it turns out our planetary neighbors are hiding some pretty wild secrets in their clouds.
Take Venus. Man, that place is just a whole box of puzzles. For a while, there was talk of phosphine gas in its atmosphere, which on Earth is a big sign of life, though that's still up for debate. The mix of gases in its air just shouldn't be stable. It defies chemistry. But the biggest mystery of all is something scientists have been staring at for 100 years. There's this mysterious something in the clouds of Venus that creates these dark patches and literally soaks up over half the sunlight that hits the planet. We have no idea what it is. But, and this is a big but, some scientists have pointed out that the specific way it absorbs UV light looks, well, it looks a lot like how certain kinds of bacteria here on Earth absorb light. It's a pretty wild idea for sure, but hey, they haven't been able to rule it out yet.
And you know, when we get new tools, we find new puzzles. The James Webb Space Telescope took a look at Saturn, and it saw way more than just that famous hexagon storm at its pole. It spotted things we have never seen before on any planet. These weird, dark, bead-like spots floating high up in the atmosphere, and right below them, this strange, lopsided, star-shaped glow. We've got some guesses, but right now, totally unexplained.
All right, buckle up, because now we're going deep, light years from home. The universe is beaming signals our way that are making us rethink everything we thought we knew. Let's talk about fast radio bursts, or FRBs. These things are insane. They're these super intense blasts of radio energy that last for just a millisecond. For years, the leading theory was they came from cataclysmic events in young, chaotic galaxies where tons of stars are being born. Makes sense, right? Well, then astronomers tracked one, and it was coming from the exact opposite kind of place. A huge 11 billion-year-old galaxy that was basically dead. It had stopped making new stars billions of years ago. It doesn't fit the theory at all.
And if that wasn't weird enough, check out where it is. It's way, way out in the galactic boonies, 130,000 light-years from the center of its galaxy. That is farther out than any other FRB we've ever managed to pinpoint. So the mystery isn't just what made the blast, but why in the world did it happen there?
So what about things that don't send signals, but just disappear? There's this incredible project called VASCO that's basically doing cosmic detective work. They're comparing old photographic plates of the sky with modern digital surveys. They started with 600 million points of light, found 150,000 that didn't match up,
and then they painstakingly eliminated all the known errors, all the known variables. And what were they left with? About 100 unexplained sources, points of light that were there in an old photo and have never been seen again, vanished without a trace.
Okay, this brings us to our final stop, and honestly, the most mind-bending stuff. We're not just talking about weird sounds or mysterious stars anymore. We're talking about signals that seem to be challenging the fundamental laws of physics.
So, astronomers were looking for this really faint gamma-ray signal that should be there because our solar system is moving through space. And they found a signal, all right? But it was coming from the wrong part of the sky. Oh, and it was 10 times stronger than their theories said was even possible. A complete shock.
And here's where it gets absolutely wild. This unexplained gamma-ray glow, it's coming from the exact same direction as another huge cosmic mystery, the source of these things called ultra-high-energy cosmic rays. But it's not just the same direction. Their intensities match perfectly. That's an incredible coincidence. It strongly suggests there's a single, unimaginably powerful, and completely unknown source out there cranking out both of these things. Now, before we get to our last and possibly strangest anomaly, you gotta understand what's at stake here. The standard model of physics, that's our rulebook for how the universe works. It describes every known particle, every fundamental force. It's been tested to incredible precision for decades. It's the bedrock of our understanding of reality. And yet, an experiment called ANITA, which was basically a giant radio receiver dangling from a balloon over Antarctica, detected a signal that seems to just tear that rulebook to shreds. It picked up radio pulses that looked like they came from a super high-energy particle that had traveled up through thousands of miles of the Earth's rock and ice before shooting out into the air. According to the standard model, that should be impossible. Just impossible. The Earth is way too dense for any particle we know of to make that journey.
So that's where we are. From a quiet hum in a desert town to impossible particles shooting right through the planet, we are surrounded by these deep, profound mysteries. And you know, these anomalies aren't failures of science. They're the exact opposite. They're the frontier. They force us to ask the biggest question of all. Are these just little glitches in what we currently know? Or are we getting our first fleeting glimpse of a new reality? A whole new physics that we're only just beginning to discover?